Jim Gaffigan was the host. I can't see Jim Gaffigan now and not think of Tim Walz.
It is a really funny impersonation. I mean, they don't give him many funny lines because they don't want to make fun of Walz, but he just does the part so well. It's so frenetic and bizarre, which is just what Tim Walz is.
Yeah. So he makes fun of he was at the Al Smith charity dinner. That's the white tie dinner that the presidents always go to and everybody in New York goes to, that has lots and lots of money. And they raise money for Catholic charities. And this is the first time since Mondale that both candidates have not been there. And Mondale, of course, lost. I don't know if it's a God thing. Could be. I don't know. But Kamala Harris decided not to show up. And Jim Gaffigan, bless his little heart, he took on both sides hard, which is exactly what a comedian should do. Here he is making fun of the Democrats last night.
The Democrats have been telling us Trump's reelection is a threat to democracy. In fact, they were so concerned of this threat, they staged a coup. Ousted their democratically elected incumbent and installed Kamala Harris. In other words, all her dreams have come true. Really? It really makes you consider the power of prayer, right, Cardinal? Sometimes prayers take 3.5 years and a George Clooney op-ed.
He is funny. He is very, very funny. Now, Trump was pretty funny himself. I mean, he didn't want to do this. He said at the end, he just wanted to go up. He said, I don't think anything's really funny right now. The country is on fire. Our liberties are at stake. And he said, I just wanted to come up here and just talk about that. He said, but all of my advisors said, no, don't do that. Do comedy. And he said, well, last time, 4 years ago when I came here, he said, I did a roast. And Stu, you and I know what it's like to do a roast because you helped me write a roast that I did in New York with all of the superpower. It was a dinner very much like this. And it was a roast. And nobody was roasting. Everybody was telling like cute little stories and taking soft little jabs. And I looked at the guy, I was sitting next to him on the dais, and I looked at the guy we were roasting, and I said, might have made a huge mistake because these guys are not roasting you, and all my material tears you apart. And he just laughed, and he said, that's why I wanted you here. I knew you would have the guts to do it. But apparently, 4 years ago, I don't remember this, but he appeared mean. At least that's what he said. And he said, I didn't want to repeat that. But he did some funny things. Here he is roasting Schumer.
Coming in very, very strong a certain way. I won't tell you what way that is, but Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
Did you watch this at all, Stu?
Only the highlights. It came out on X and stuff. But yeah, it was pretty funny.
So I was watching it too. Didn't Chuck Schumer? He looked like Gollum.
Yeah, he does look very strange at this point.
Yeah, he was sitting there and he looked, his posture, and he was sitting and he just looked like, hi, precious. He really looked like Gollum, but maybe that's just me. Here's Trump talking about the white dudes for Harris.
There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me.
On Tim Walz, here's what the president said.
But unfortunately, Governor Walz isn't here himself, but don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was.
Did you also notice Michael Bloomberg was sitting right in the front, and the guy didn't react or crack a smile one time? Honestly, it was the weirdest thing. Not a single smile, nothing, no reaction, good or bad.
Right,
I mean, Schumer was rolling his eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
What?
The spirit of the event is to go there and you laugh at yourself, and that's what the event
Bloomberg
is.
didn't.
Right, Bloomberg didn't.
Yeah.
It was interesting to watch because you're right. Schumer, who at times would
roll his
squirm
eyes.
and roll his eyes, but that's an okay reaction at that type of event. It is. Gaffigan, I noticed as well, actually laughed really hard at some of the jokes. Others that were more like the female president one, he just he didn't want to react to that one at all. But generally speaking, I thought everyone was pretty much okay on their reactions, but Bloomberg was just nothing.
It was weird. It was just weird. It was like, are you listening to a podcast or something right now? What is happening with you?
He was like that famous footage of the interrogation of one of the murder suspects who just sits there in the room by himself for hours and never has a facial expression. You ever see that footage? It's like that.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's classic.
So weird. He also talked seriously about the assassination attempts. Here he is, cut 4.
Having recently, myself, survived 2 assassination attempts. I survived. I have a chart that went down to the right. Fortunately, I looked at it's my all-time favorite piece of paper. But it went down, and I looked to the right, and I said, was that luck? What was that, luck, or was that God that did that? And I think it was God that did that. I do. But I have a very fresh, Cardinal, I have a very fresh appreciation for how blessed we are by God's providence and his divine mercy. I mean, that was something I was not supposed to be here tonight. That I can tell you. So with God's help, I know there is nothing that cannot be achieved. We can achieve so much good with this country and get together and unify.
I thought that was a really great sentiment. It is a night where you're supposed to laugh at each other and then come together at the end, which I thought he tried to do, except maybe for de Blasio. He took on de Blasio, and it wasn't funny at all. He was serious, and he's like, this isn't a joke. He sucked. He was the worst. He destroyed this city. Did you see that?
No.
Stu? Oh my gosh. He was talking about all the former mayors, but the worst one, and he's up here, and it's not you, Michael Bloomberg, it's de Blasio. And he just tore him apart. You could tell that Trump was a New Yorker, and loves New York, and really didn't appreciate de Blasio at all. But I want to end with miracles, because Donald Trump was talking about that. And it was a night of miracles, especially if you're watching CNN. Here's Brian Stelter on CNN.
Brian Stelter, what did you make of this performance?
Oh, no, don't ask me first. I thought he was funny. I thought he actually got a few great jokes in. I thought the best moment was we talked about the assassination attempts and made light of what he's experienced, because I think he's experiencing real trauma, real PTSD as a result of the shootings, but he's still able to have a light moment in this room. And he took advantage of the fact that Kamala Harris wasn't there.
What? That's Brian Stelter. I mean, what this guy won't do to have a job is amazing, because that's not his opinion. It's clearly not his opinion. Or maybe his diehard hate for Trump, and Trump can never do anything right. Maybe that wasn't his opinion. I don't know what his opinion is, but that's a complete turnaround for Brian Stelter.
Well, I mean, I think it was objectively funny at times. I mean, again,
when has he been objective?
Well, I mean, it's easy to be objective on a moment like that. I feel like, Jim Gaffigan is really funny, but he does not like Donald Trump at all. Like, he is not a fan. He's a liberal. He's not a fan. But he was able to laugh, right, at some of those jokes because they were objectively funny.
Because
that is supposed to be what that event is. Like, it's more of a throwback to the old times when you could actually admit things that are accurate, right? Trump is objectively funny at times. There's just it's just true. It's just true. And if you should be able to admit it, and I give credit to Stelter for admitting it, I don't know that anyone else on the panel would do such a thing.
He is really funny, and he has no problem making fun of himself. Last night he said, they told me I should do some self-deprecating jokes, but I got nothing. I got nothing. But he does. I mean, here he is making fun of himself on SNL. Cut 9, please.
The guy's here to fix the leak on your solid gold faucet.
Send him in.
Donald Trump is
now he walks
looks
Trump
like the Liberace
as a
Museum.
janitor.
Hey, I'm the prince of this city. When you're in my office, you treat me with respect.
Who did your decorating? Saddam Hussein?
I'll have you know this is all very classy stuff. And that painting of the tiger and the woman has got me laid on numerous occasions.
I didn't know gay dudes like tiger paintings.
Hey, you've crossed the line. I've killed people for less.
Looks like you killed a squirrel to me and put it right on top of your head.
You're one to talk. Your hair looks exactly like mine.
Yeah, except my hair's supposed to look like this. I'm a janitor.
That's from 2004, by the way.
He's funny.
Yeah.